Another week of the college football season is in the books. It was only a week, but there was a lot of movement when it comes to my Heisman rankings. So here's how my top 10 looks after the second weekend of the college football season. Kicking things off today is Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy. It's been a quiet start to the season for Michigan, but McCarthy has been nearly perfect for them. He's completed 48 of 55 passes for a completion percentage of above 87%. He's thrown for just under 600 yards with 5 passing touchdowns and no interceptions. Again, I get Michigan hasn't played anybody, but still, McCarthy has been nearly perfect through the first 2 games, so I gotta get him inside my top 10. Kansas State quarterback Will Howard has gotten off to a great start to begin his campaign. He's completing just under 70% of his passes and has thrown for 550 yards with 5 passing touchdowns. He's also added 3 touchdowns on the ground as well. He's currently number 1 in the Big 12 for touchdowns responsible for and is number 4 in the entire country. Although his numbers are near the leaderboard, the reason he's so low is because Kansas State, just like with Michigan, hasn't really played anybody just yet. Travis Hunter is the only defensive player on my list, and I don't even know if you want to really classify him as that. So far on defense this season, he has 7 tackles with an interception and 2 pass breakups, but he's also a fantastic wide receiver on offense. He has 14 catches for 200 yards as he's averaging just under 15 yards a catch for the Buffaloes. His numbers took a bit of a hit this past weekend against Nebraska, but he's still number 5 in the Pac-12 in receptions, number 8 in receiving yards, and he's in the top 10 in passes defended as well. Sam Hartman's Notre Dame career couldn't have gotten off to a better start. Through 3 games, he's completing 75% of his passes. He's thrown for over 700 yards and has 10 passing touchdowns and has yet to throw an interception. He had his best performance this weekend against NC State, where on the road, Hartman threw for nearly 300 yards with 4 passing touchdowns. It really feels like his season's kind of flying under the radar so far, but I'm sure once we see Notre Dame face Ohio State, then we'll really have an answer in regards to his Heisman case. Another week where I have Bo Nix ranked inside my top 10. I feel kind of bad that I have him ranked this low because honestly, he should be higher. Through 2 games, he's completing just under 80% of his passes and has thrown 650 yards with 5 passing touchdowns and no interceptions. He's the reason Oregon won this past weekend on the road at Texas Tech, and it was one of the best games of his collegiate career. He threw for 360 yards with 2 passing touchdowns while also leading the team with 50 rushing yards. Bo Nix has had a number of games like this while with Oregon, and he's probably going to have many more, and his Heisman odds will probably decrease every week, sadly. The fact that I have Michael Penix Jr. ranked this low is just crazy, but it's only because Washington hasn't really played anyone just yet, like the players I have ahead of him in today's video. Still, he's been arguably the best quarterback in all of college football this season. Through the first 2 weeks, he's completing 73% of his passes and has thrown for just under 900 yards. He also has 8 passing touchdowns with 1 interception. I know it's only been 2 games, but if you take Michael Penix Jr.'s pace and stretch it over a 13-game season, he's on pace to throw for just under 5,600 yards. And he's also on pace to throw 52 passing touchdowns. Again, I know it's only a 2-game pace, but I think Michael Penix Jr. really wants to put up numbers this season, and I think he will. I talked about it a number of times this offseason, but I think Penix Jr. can surpass 5,000 yards this year for Washington. After Jordan Travis had a fantastic performance against LSU, he wasn't really needed last week against Southern Mississippi. Overall, his numbers weren't too great, as he completed only 51% of his passes for 175 yards with 2 passing touchdowns. Although those numbers aren't that great, he wasn't really needed at all, so I'm not going to read too much into this. What he did the week prior against LSU is still enough to have him inside my top 5. Before I get to the rest of my Heisman list, here's how you can make the college football season even more exciting and win money in the process. I've partnered with Underdog Fantasy to bring my subscribers this exclusive deal. Use promo code Harris when you sign up, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. That means they're essentially giving you $100 of free money to have fun with. You can pick at least 2 players and as many as 5 to win up to 20 times your money. I've had a lot of success recently, as I've won thousands just this past week with pick'em entries. I won a college football one and an NFL one as well. Underdog also has this special promo for new customers. You can pick Jalen Hurts to have more than 0.5 total yards for Thursday Night Football. If he gets just 1 yard, you win. It's that simple. They also have another special for this Sunday, where if you correctly pick the higher or lower for Tua Tagovailoa's passing yards, you're immediately entered to win $10,000. Again, just by making one pick'em. To win money this football season and make every game that much more exciting, join Underdog Fantasy. Again, make sure to use promo code Harris when you sign up, and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. You can also sign up using the link in my description as well. Jumping all the way into my top 3 is Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. I wasn't high on him at any point during the offseason or even last week, but after his performance against Alabama, I think he has a legitimate chance of winning the Heisman, and as of right now, he has the second highest betting odds to win the award. This past weekend on the road at Alabama, he threw for 350 yards with 3 passing touchdowns. For Ewers, his passing yards was the second highest of his entire career, and his 3 passing touchdowns were also the second highest of his career as well. So you have one of the best games of his entire collegiate career on top of going on the road to knocking off Alabama. Yeah, that'll do it. Also, when you look at his numbers as a whole this season, he has thrown for 600 yards with 6 passing touchdowns and no interceptions. Climbing up all the way to number 2 though is Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. You could honestly make the case that he's been the best quarterback in all of college football, and I wouldn't argue that. Through the first 2 weeks, he's completing 78% of his passes and has thrown for 900 yards. He has 6 passing touchdowns and is yet to throw an interception. He's also added a touchdown on the ground as well. As of right now, Sanders is 3rd in the country with 69 pass completions, and he's number 2 in the country in passing yards. Again, if you want to make the case he's been the best quarterback through the first few weeks of the season, I wouldn't argue that at all. But the numbers do say it's been someone else. And coming in at number 1 is USC quarterback Caleb Williams. He's completed just under 80% of his passes this season while throwing for 900 yards. He's also thrown 12 passing touchdowns with no interceptions. He also has a rushing touchdown to go along with 60 rushing yards. He currently leads the country with 12 passing touchdowns and leads the country averaging 12.5 passing yards per attempt. His completion percentage leads the conference and is the 4th best in college football. He's also number 1 in the country with 939 total yards. I say this every week, but until Caleb Williams does something to no longer be the favorite, or another player completely takes over and is more deserving than him, Caleb Williams is going to remain at my number 1 spot, probably for a long time. Well, that's my current top 10 Heisman list after the second week of the college football season. Was there a player I had ranked too high, or a player that was ranked too low, or a player that didn't crack my top 10 that definitely should have been in here? Whoever it is, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos every day during the season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.